All right, let's talk about studying. In this explainer, we're going to transform it from this constant, exhausting battle into a powerful, natural rhythm. It's all about learning how to work smarter, not just harder.
You know the feeling, right? You sit down, you open your books, and suddenly, everything else in the world seems way more interesting. It's a struggle we all know. But what if the solution isn't about just forcing more willpower, but about designing a way better system?
And here's the secret. This is the core idea we're going to dig into today. Your brain absolutely thrives on routine. It actually wants to know when and where to switch into focus mode. The trick is just giving it the right cues.
So how do we actually do that? How do we give our brain those cues it's looking for? Well, we're going to break it down into 3 simple, super powerful keys that all work together to create an unstoppable rhythm for focus and learning.
So here's the plan. It's our roadmap. First, we'll cover the where. That's all about creating your physical space for focus. Then, the when. How to build a routine that actually trains your brain. And finally, the how. Using your own natural energy to learn way more effectively.
All right, first up, your environment. And listen, this isn't just about having a desk, okay? This is about creating a dedicated headquarters for your brain to do its absolute best work. So, what does that actually involve? I love this metaphor, it's so powerful. Every single time you sit down in this specific spot, you are plugging your brain in. And there's actually some real psychology behind this. It's this thing called context-dependent memory. Your brain starts to associate that physical space with the mental state of concentration. So over time, the space itself becomes an automatic trigger for focus. Pretty cool, right?
And you know the essentials for a great study zone? They're actually super practical. Comfort is key, for sure, but not so much that you doze off. Good lighting, that's a big one. It prevents eye strain. A tidy desk really does mean a tidy mind. Less clutter, less distraction. And those little personal touches, they make the space feel like yours, a place you actually want to be.
Okay, you want a brilliant little brain hack? Try this. Before you start, just sit in your study zone and take one single deep breath. This simple action becomes a ritual, a signal to your brain that says, okay, it's time. Focus mode activated.
Okay, so we've nailed down the where. Now let's get into the when. Because just like a physical space, a consistent schedule is absolutely crucial for training your brain.
This right here, this shows the huge shift we need to make. So many of us were taught that studying means these marathon cramming sessions, but that just leads to burnout. The smarter way, the better way, is to create a predictable pattern your brain can rely on, one that works with its natural cycles of energy.
And here it is. This is the pattern. It's a simple, repeatable formula that just works. You work in these focused bursts of 30 to 45 minutes, which, by the way, is about the average limit of our true concentration. Then, and this is important, you take a short break to reset. After a few of these cycles, take a longer break. The key here is you're working with your brain's natural attention span, not fighting against it.
I want you to think of it this way. Just like a steady heartbeat keeps your body running smoothly, this steady rhythm of study and rest keeps your mind healthy, it reduces stress, and it actually improves your results. It's all about consistency, not just intensity.
All right, so we've got our space, we've got our schedule. Now it's time for the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, this is the most personalized key. This is where we learn to work with our body's natural energy, not just the clock on the wall.
Okay, this right here, this is a total game changer. 2 hours of studying when you feel sluggish and tired is worth so much less than 45 minutes when your brain is just firing on all cylinders. So the goal is to align your most demanding tasks with your peak energy levels.
So the big question is, how do we actually do that? Well, we need to find what's called your personal focus window. This is your unique biological prime time for learning. For some people, it's super early in the morning. For others, it's late at night. There is no right answer, only what's right for you.
So, how in the world do you find it? It's actually pretty simple. For just a few days, use a simple tracker like this one. Just notice your energy and your focus levels at different times. You can see in this example, morning is a peak time, while the afternoon is a total slump. After just a few days of paying attention, your own unique pattern is going to become crystal clear.
So here's the big takeaway, the real secret sauce. Once you figure out that 2 or 3 hour window where you feel your absolute best, you have to guard it, protect it. Schedule your hardest, most demanding work for that time, and save your lower energy periods for the easier stuff, like reviewing notes or organizing your files.
Okay, so let's recap. We've covered the 3 keys: your zone, your schedule, and your energy.
Now comes the fun part. This is where the real magic happens, when you put it all together and build your own personalized system.
So let's start with the where. Take a second and think about it right now. What makes a space feel right for you? Is it great lighting, a super comfy chair, maybe total silence? Go ahead and identify your top 3 non-negotiables for a killer study zone.
Okay, next up, your energy. Be honest with yourself. Are you a morning person or a night owl? When do you feel most on? Pinpointing your peak time is the absolute key to scheduling for maximum impact.
And finally, let's get real for a second. What's your number 1 focus killer? Is it your phone? Is it social media? Knowing what your main obstacle is, that's the very first step to designing a system that can beat it.
See, when you combine your ideal space, a smart schedule, and your peak energy, you're not just studying anymore. You're building something much bigger. You're building a sustainable rhythm for success, a system that leads to less stress, better results, and, yeah, more time for the stuff you love. So the only question left is, what will your rhythm of focus unlock?